I guess. When she went to lunch with the other wives, she didn't pass muster.
Well, maybe she couldn't reach it.
Script. How much did it cost to produce Cheers, the financial secrets of TV's most famous bar? The secrets of the series that marked generations. Today we're opening the cash register of the bar where everybody knew your name. Did you know that each episode of Cheers in the final seasons cost a fortune for that time? While Sam Malone was serving drinks at the counter, Ted Danson was pocketing a check for $450,000 per episode. That would be equivalent to approximately $1 million today. Curious to know how a series set primarily in a single location managed to become one of the most expensive on television. Keep watching. Cheers premiered in 1982 on NBC and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The series followed the daily life of the Cheers bar in Boston, where a group of people gathered to drink, relax, and share their lives. The cultural impact was immense. Despite nearly being cancelled in its first season due to low ratings, it ranked 74th out of 77 programs. The series eventually became a ratings giant, ranking among the top 10 most-watched programs for 8 of its 11 seasons. Sponsors loved the program because it reached an adult audience with purchasing power. Beer brands, food products, and credit card companies fought to have their products displayed in America's most famous TV bar. Let's get straight to the impressive numbers of Cheers' total cost. During its 11 years on air, 1982-1993, the series produced exactly 275 episodes. The cost per episode evolved dramatically over the seasons. In the early seasons, 1 to 3, each episode cost approximately $500,000 to produce, a value considered standard for sitcoms of the time. In the middle seasons, 4 to 7, with increasing popularity and contract renegotiations, that value rose to about $900,000 per episode. In the final seasons, 8-11, costs exploded to an impressive $2.2 million per episode, equivalent to almost $4 million in current values. Doing the math, NBC's total investment in Cheers during its 11 years was approximately $350 million in values of the time, which would be equivalent to more than $650 million in updated values. An astronomical investment for a series that took place basically in a single setting, and the most fascinating part, most of that money didn't go to special effects or expensive locations. The big financial secret of Cheers was its cast, and we'll detail exactly how much each star earned. Ted Danson, the charismatic Sam Malone, became the financial king of the series. In the early seasons, his salary was approximately $50,000 per episode, but in the final seasons, Danson was receiving $50,000 per episode. This means that from Cheers alone, he was pocketing approximately $12 million per season in the final years of the program, and it doesn't stop there. To this day, he still receives about $5 million annually in residuals from the series. Shelley Long, the intellectual Diane Chambers, was one of the highest-paid actresses on television during her stay in the first 5 seasons. She started earning about $35,000 per episode, but when she left the series in 1987, she was already receiving approximately $200,000 per episode. When Kirstie Alley arrived to replace Shelley as Rebecca Howe, she managed to negotiate an initial contract of $80,000 per episode, which grew to approximately $250,000 in the final seasons, an extraordinary value, albeit less than Danson's. The rest of the cast also earned high amounts. Woody Harrelson, who played the naive bartender Woody Boyd, entered earning a salary of $50,000 per episode, but when the series ended, he was already receiving approximately $200,000 per episode. Rhea Perlman, the acerbic waitress Carla Tortelli, started with $35,000 and ended with an estimated salary of $150,000 per episode in the final seasons. The bar regulars weren't left behind either. George Wendt, Norm Peterson, and John Ratzenberger, Cliff Clavin, started with salaries of approximately $25,000 per episode, but in the final seasons, each was receiving around $125,000 per episode. Kelsey Grammer, who played psychiatrist Frasier Crane, entered in the third season earning about $30,000 per episode, but ended the series earning approximately $200,000 per episode, which helped prepare the ground for his own millionaire spin-off. Besides the astronomical salaries, production costs also included approximately $100,000 per episode in filming expenses and technical crew, about $80,000 per episode for writers, $150,000 per episode for producers, $50,000 per episode for lighting, costumes and makeup, $40,000 per episode for scenography and props. But there's a fascinating curiosity about the setting. The real bar that inspired Cheers, the Bull and Finch pub in Boston, was chosen randomly from a phone book. When Glenn Charles, one of the creators, asked permission to do external and some internal filming, the owner charged only $1. However, after the success of the program, the owner earned millions by licensing the pub's image and selling Cheers memorabilia, making it the 42nd most profitable establishment in the American food industry in 1997. NBC's investment in Cheers proved to be one of the most successful in television history. Despite rising costs, the consistent audience and longevity of the program generated enormous revenue from advertising. It's estimated that each 30-second commercial during Cheers cost advertisers about $650,000 in the final seasons. With approximately 8 minutes of advertising per episode, this generated more than $5 million in advertising revenue per episode. The final episode, aired on May 20th, 1993, was one of the most watched of the 1990s, with approximately 93 million viewers, almost 40% of the American population at the time. NBC dedicated an entire night to the series' farewell, with a pre-game hosted by Bob Costas, followed by the 98-minute final episode, and then a special episode of The Tonight Show broadcast live from the Bull and Finch pub. The ads in this final episode broke records, reaching $800,000 per 30 seconds. The financial legacy of Cheers extended beyond the original series. The spin-off Frasier, starring Kelsey Grammer as psychiatrist Frasier Crane, became another ratings and financial success, with an estimated budget of $5.2 million per episode in its final seasons. Cheers taught us that, in the world of television, sometimes the most valuable investment isn't in elaborate sets or special effects, but in the people who bring to life the characters we love. The bar where everybody knew your name not only won our hearts, but also opened NBC's coffers in a way that few programs managed to do. How about sharing in the comments what your favorite scene from Cheers was and how much you think it cost to produce? This video deserves a toast. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and until the next episode of Financial Secrets of Classic Series. Suggested title: Cheers, the bar that cost millions, the financial truth behind the success.